Good morning, Vietnam. Tour Cruise here, checking in with Tuan Chan.
Hi.
We're on day one here of our bike packing trip here in central Vietnam. So here's a quick little preview of our course. We're gonna be cycling over 600 kilometers and I think over 7,000 meters of climbing. So we've got a lot of big days ahead of us. We're starting here by the beach in Da Nang. This is Tuan Chan's road bike, so she's got more of a bike packing setup. We changed our minds again and we decided to go with the large rear saddlebag. Unfortunately, when we started with the inner frame bag with Tuang, it had a little bit of a thigh rub with her, so this way we can carry a little bit more luggage anyway, so we'll have her carry her more fair share. So it's a beautiful hot day by the beach. It's actually crazy hot. It's like, I don't know, it's already like 33 degrees Celsius plus the heat index. It probably feels like 38, 40 right now. And it's 9 a.m. right now. This is my first morning ride in the last few months since I came back to Vietnam. I'm usually an afternoon rider, so it's kind of weird having to put sunscreen back on. But anyway, here's my bike setup. I decided to go with a slightly more aero profile, so only using one of the pannier bags on the side. And I moved this bag, which was supposed to be up in the front, and just took the dry bag off of it and placed it on the rear rack. So I think that will give me a little bit more of an aero profile, and I put some of the heavier items inside that bag so it's more centered on the bike. I've got my large frame bag and my top tube bag, so no weight up front. It's a little bit rear heavy, but so far on the test ride over here, it felt pretty good. Because of the extra distance on the route, we decided to go with our road pedals. I don't think we're doing too much walking, and if we do need to do some walking, we've got our sandals. Tung's got her strapped on right here, so no issues there, hopefully. And we got an extra long day in the saddle today. We've got 160 kilometers to go. We can't stay here too long. We got to get going. We got to get a few pictures for the Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram at Tuo Cruise, and Tung also has her own Instagram, which she updates more often than I do. So check out hers, Tung Cycling. All right, you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
So for the beginning of the tour, we're cycling down the coast. These first few roads we're pretty used to because we live in Da Nang. We're pretty used to these roads. We're starting our first session of the route down to Hoi An. We haven't eaten breakfast yet, so it's about a 40-minute ride there, hopefully. And we're gonna stop at a pretty cool cycling cafe and get some food there and fuel up. The first part of the ride is the most chaotic just because you're dealing with all the tourists here in Da Nang, everyone going to the beach. And so the roads are a little bit chaotic here, but as we start to make our way to Hoi An, it should get gradually better and better. And once we pass Hoi An, it'll be a lot better. We've got our masks on now though, because there's really bad exhaust and pollution from all the bikes and trucks here. So we try to wear our masks when we're in those kinds of environments. We don't want to breathe in those toxic fumes, though it does make you feel a little extra hot. So we don't like to wear them for too long when it's this hot and humid out. Tung looks like she's doing pretty good with the large saddlebag though. How's the saddlebag?
It's okay.
It's okay? Not moving too much?
Yeah.
One of the cool things in between Da Nang and Hoi An is they've got a bunch of these marble statues. There's also Marble Mountain in between, which is a cool tourist spot and always cool to pass by. Some of these statues are like really massive, and there's a bunch of shops selling them along the street, but we still got a little bit of traffic until we pass the Hoi An area. I'm not used to the traffic this time of day. We normally ride in the evening, the afternoon, but we're holding a pretty good pace so far. So I'm holding about 160 watts average. I'm trying to keep our heart rate a bit lower. So my heart rate right now is between like 110 and 125. And Tung's is usually a little higher than mine, so she's about 130. So we're trying to keep her heart rate down, especially so we don't waste too much energy. These are gonna be long zone 1, zone 2 kind of days. And normally our longest ride is like 3 or 4 hours, so doing a couple back-to-back 6-hour rides is gonna be pretty tough. That's why we're going nice and slow and steady. And on the cycling computer, it's also showing 36 degrees. So definitely hot out today. One of our main goals for the cycling trip is to cycle into the highlands, into Mung Den, which is at elevation profile over 1,000 meters. So we're hoping we're gonna get some nice cooler weather there. I'll believe it when I see it. And yeah, just endless marble statues. Would love to get one of these for our house. I'm pretty sure these will be pretty expensive still. Here we are at rest stop number 1. We're getting some breakfast.
Yeah.
How are you feeling so far, Tunchan?
I'm okay. The first 20 kilometers.
First 20 kilometers,
Yeah,
okay?
I'm okay.
Good. So we're averaging a pretty good pace, about 24.5 kilometers per hour. Our goal was 25, and we had a lot of stops in the beginning, so I think we should be able to meet our goal, and we're keeping our heart rate about 130 and under, so we're doing pretty good. So we're checking in at a fairly new cycling cafe here in Hoi An. This is called Checkpoint. So we came here once before when they first opened, and it looks like they've been doing some nice work and some nice additions to help with people who are cycling in the area. So we got our bikes here. So here's the entrance right by the main road that we're cycling all the way down the coast. And they got a rack here in the front. It looks like they have some rental bikes too. So we've been getting some questions about where to get rental bikes in Da Nang and Hoi An. So it looks like we got an option here. And they got a pretty cool gate here made from old bike parts. So a nice little outside cafe. They got the canopy here so you get cover if it rains. There's another bicycle up there as well. We got another bike rack here. You can place your order down there. So we're waiting for our food right now, and they got another little wash station here made from an old Bianchi. It looks like some of the lights, they're using some old wheels. So I really like to see all the bicycle design incorporated in everything here. This is one of the new additions that wasn't here last time. They're working on their bike area. So they got a stand here with some basic tools so you can do some repairs. And they've also got some equipment if you need some tubes, or looks like they got some gels as well. So a very cool place to stop if you're cycling around the Hoi An area. Looks like they're also selling a couple different sauces and stuff here. And we got the Hoi An art. Overall, really cool place. So we're gonna wait for our food. So our drink has arrived. This is one of our favorite drinks here in Vietnam. This is coconut coffee. We're not normally coffee drinkers, but this one is especially good. It's basically a coconut smoothie, and we poured the coffee in here. We're running out of a little space because this glass is a little small, but that's okay. The flavor on this is amazing. Tuan will vouch for that, so we're gonna drink a little bit and create some space so we can blend a little bit. Sometimes this comes in two different styles. One is where it's already blended and all mixed for you, and then this is the other style where basically they give you the coconut smoothie and then you pour the coconut on itself, but I didn't turn the camera on when we poured it on. So this is a really popular drink here in the Da Nang and Hoi An area. We often get it on our rides, and I don't know if it's available in other parts of Vietnam. I don't think I've ever seen it in other cities, so if you're in the area, definitely worth a shot to give it a try. Even if you're not a coffee drinker, this stuff is amazing. All right, Tuan Chan's pretty excited. Our food has arrived. We've ridden the first hour without any food, so pretty excited for today's breakfast. So we got a mix of some breakfast tacos here and also some waffles. These are some sweet potato waffles. So we usually get two different things and then we share half and half. Pretty excited to dig into today's meal. Itadakimasu. Finished up with breakfast, and we're making our way out of Hoi An now to the south. Whew. That breakfast was really good, actually. It's been a long time since I had some real sour cream and some real maple syrup, and pretty affordable, only 250,000 for all of that. So just a bit over 10 bucks for some coconut coffee and two nice meals. So a great way to start our ride. And we're finally fueled up, feeling pretty good despite the heat. So we're starting our first and only real big climb of the day. This bridge is Quang Ngai. So not too bad. This bridge is only about 4 or 5%. Temperature 38 degrees Celsius now. But we're making good time. This is our only climb today, and then smooth sailing, hopefully. This is the part I was most worried about, is how these bikes are gonna feel while we're climbing with all the extra luggage. Chung upgraded her mask to help block the sun, but so far the bike doesn't feel too bad on this kind of gradient. I think we'll be okay. I also put a little bit of extra sunscreen on the top of my legs just because I don't want to risk getting burnt. We're basically at the peak temperature and sun strength right now. We don't normally ride at this time, so trying to be a little extra careful. We've also got our sun arm covers on. The Vietnamese sun is no joke. The area here around Hoi An, beautiful. All these rivers, lots of new development, really clean. So the next city we're passing through is gonna be Tam Ky. In between Hoi An, we're cycling along this highway, which Luckily, there's not too much traffic. There's a nice bike lane here on the side, but it's pretty boring for the most part. There's not too much to see. But right now, we're passing this cool little water park area, and this is pretty much the furthest that both of us have ridden from Da Nang. We usually will ride down here and then turn around here and go back to Da Nang. It ends up usually being about an 80 to 100 kilometer ride. So we're at about 40 kilometers right now, and unfortunately we're fighting a little bit of a cross headwind, which isn't helping the average speed. We're also trying to keep our heart rate low in this temperature. It's a lot harder than I was expecting. If I keep my heart rate at 130, Chung's is unfortunately about 20 higher than mine, so hers will be 150. I was hoping with me carrying extra luggage that would help make up for the gap, but it doesn't seem to be the case here on the flats. I'm not noticing too much of a difference. Like, yeah, I've got more weight, but as long as I've got the momentum, it's not too bad. It's mainly when I'm accelerating the bike from a stop or when we're going up hills that I notice the weight difference, but very hot.
Everything is new for me.
Yeah, everything is new for you. New territory, but it all looks the same. So we could have done this loop either clockwise or counterclockwise, and we decided to start this way first, going down the coast, just in case there were any problems with our bike, because it's a lot more developed. On this side, there's a lot more bike shops, and it's easier for us to get back home in case something does break. This is our first time doing a long trip and doing this kind of setup, so I wanted to keep it safe and make sure we were able to get things fixed if we needed to in the beginning of our trip. Anyway, we're gonna focus on pedaling for a bit. We still got a long day in the saddle. We'll check back in later. We're about 3 hours into our ride. It's very, very hot outside, and we just passed Tam Ky. Actually, we didn't go into the city. We stayed on the highway, so I didn't realize we have to turn to get into the city. So we didn't end up being able to see Tam Ky because it's not off the highway, but that's okay. We found this nice little spot here that's got some nice, always loud trucks here in Vietnam. We got some nice shade right here, a nice relaxing spot to take a break. And this is another one of our favorite drinks to get on the road here in Vietnam. This is called nuoc.
Too sweet.
Too sweet?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god.
oh my God. Maybe they added some extra sugar.
Yeah.
But this is sugarcane juice, so they usually press it right there, and they also add some lime, so it's a nice energetic drink on the hot, sweaty days. So we're getting 2 to drink here, and then we're gonna fill up our water bottles with some extra and continue on our journey. We've been struggling with nice headwind and crosswind the whole way here, so unfortunately the wind isn't on our side. You can see they're preparing some of the sugarcane over there. They're gonna run it through the machine. That's cool, they got the automatic kind. Some people, they have to do the hand grinding, and that one just pulls it right through. The other cool thing about these highway rest stops here in Vietnam is they got nice, cool, shaded place with a bunch of hammocks, so you can get some rest when you're on the road. We're not gonna take a long break though, we still got a lot of distance to cover. So I grabbed some extra nuoc to go. Probably the best drink choice on the road right now, some extra sugar. Stay nice and hydrated, and they're full of ice, so they should stay nice and cool for a little while. They ended up being about 10,000 for our glass and then 15,000 for the bottles because it's a bit extra volume. And here's another view. This is the Hammock Cafe, and we're right here by the highway. And this is, I imagine it's just gonna stay like this for quite a while until we get to Quang Ngai. So a little bit boring, but if we run into anything else interesting along the way, we'll turn the camera back on. We're about 1/3 of the way done, so still a long way to go.
Yeah. Let's continue.
Let's continue. So it's been a little while since our last check-in. We're doing, I believe, our last pit stop before we make our way into our hotel. Currently, we finished 135 kilometers. So total ride time so far, 5 hours and 45 minutes. Average speed has been 23.5. We've been struggling with a ridiculous headwind, crosswind the entire way here, which is the reason we haven't been doing too many check-ins. After we passed the 3-hour mark, we've just been struggling and just trying to keep pushing the pedals. So we got about 27 more K to go, just a little bit over an hour. Hopefully my battery makes it. We're at 26%. And we're just inside Quang Ngai, so the first time that I've been to this city, and we've been looking for just a quick little restaurant to go to. We don't want to really sit down anywhere. We just wanted to grab something quick, like a banh mi sandwich or a convenience store to get some snacks, anything really, or even a little bakery. But we haven't been able to find anything. And as we were passing through the city, we found this sign. This is Go. I believe this is the same thing as Big C from Thailand. I think they market it as Go here. We have a similar store in Da Nang where we live. So Tung went inside. I'm not sure what she's gonna get. There's a KFC inside, so she might get us some chicken sandwiches. The bikes have been holding up really well. I'm really glad that I did get these bar ends because I've been switching my position up a lot. My hands definitely have been suffering a bit on this ride just because I'm not used to these handlebars on such long rides. So it really helped to be able to change the handlebars. I did have a little noise on my bike a little bit during the beginning of the ride, and I was really trying to figure out what it was. It ended up being this cable, which sort of was rubbing up against the tire, so I just moved it to the outside here. I probably should put some electric tape to hold it in place, but that cable was just rattling up against the wheel, so that was a quick fix. Otherwise though, everything's doing pretty good. Tung hasn't been complaining too much other than her heart rate being a little higher than we'd like it to. She's been mostly around 150. We've been struggling to keep it in the 140s. For us to get her heart rate that low, we ended up going a little bit too slow, so we've been trying to keep a balance between keeping the pace up and not getting her heart rate up too high. They got a nice little bench here, so this is where I'm chilling, waiting for Tung. They got a bunch of bike security guys. First, they were upset with me for parking our bikes here. They wanted us to park our bikes over in the parking area. Ah, Tung's got the food. What'd you get?
KFC.
KFC. Okay. Let's eat. Oh, and you got a cola.
We have a fried chicken burger.
Fried chicken sandwich.
Yeah, burger sandwich.
Chicken sandwich and cola. Okay. Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu. Okay.
Also, one mistake today. We've been getting a little bit sunburnt, so I thought I had enough sunscreen, but not enough. Ooh, looks good. Tung's happy. Fried chicken. Perfecto. And you can see my legs have been getting a little burnt here, so we put some extra sunscreen on during the middle of the ride. Doesn't look too bad, but hopefully, we'll see. The other bad thing with the course is there was no shade at all. It was just the sun beating down on us the entire time. So no shade, direct sunlight the whole time, a crosswind headwind. Today I thought was gonna be one of our easier days because I thought we'd get a tailwind, but I don't know, this might be worse than the climbing day we got tomorrow. We got 2,000 meters of climbing. Yeah. We put on these neck things as well. This was really helpful actually. I just didn't want to get my neck burned, and so we put this on for a little while, and actually it wasn't too hot. I'm getting pretty hungry too. I'll eat some of Tung's sandwich. The rest of our ride went pretty smoothly. I don't know if it was the fried chicken or maybe a change of the wind, but our pace definitely increased, and we also felt a lot more energetic, having some calories in our body, and it also helped a lot that the sun was starting to set. So all in all, the last hour flew by. One thing that I really couldn't believe though was as we continued, we entered this highway gate, which I was expecting there to be like a really nice highway because they had the whole IC card system and everything. And we passed through, luckily it was free for bikes and bicycles, and I couldn't believe it. It was just like a normal road, like every other road, like smaller highway road here in Vietnam. So really hard to believe that they charge money for this kind of road, which is just really chaotic. The only good thing though is there's lots of stores, so if you need to get food, there's always restaurants and places to get snacks. So we just finished up our ride. We're checking in at the hotel. This is a pretty interesting, like smaller style hotel. So a lot of buildings in Vietnam, they're more rectangular, kind of concrete style building. This one looks like a double rectangle. And the first floor they'll often use as kind of like a garage so you can park the car. But the other interesting thing is they don't separate the garage from the living space. So a lot of the car fumes will spread everywhere in here. But the other good thing is they always keep the doors open, so probably not too big of a problem, but that's the standard style here in Vietnam. First floor garage. I'll pull up the Strava details for the ride here, so you can go check out the Strava page to see all the full details about the ride, but total ride time, just under 7 hours, so pretty close to what we were expecting. 162 kilometers, so I believe that's a full, like American 100 miles. That's pretty crazy. It's been a long time since I've done that. Average speed wasn't as good as I was hoping, just really brutal, facing that crosswind, headwind the entire way here. Overall, the average power, not too bad. We kept it pretty low. Tried to keep the heart rate down. And yeah, zone 1 for most of the way. Zone 1, zone 2 a little bit. And wow, my 3-second power didn't even go over 400 watts. So definitely kept it pretty easy today. And only 69 meters of elevation. Average heart rate, 128 for me, probably 150 for Tung. I definitely noticed when we were low on calories, my heart rate really started to go up. So I was really struggling around the 3, 4, 5 hour mark until we got that fried chicken. All right, here we go, guys. This is our hotel room for tonight. We just made the turn to start going west. So tomorrow morning, we've got a bigger ride.
Yeah.
Shorter distance, but much more climbing. So today was the long ride, 160K. Tomorrow, I think is 110K, but over 2,000 meters of climbing up into the mountains, up into Mang Dens, where hopefully it's a little bit cooler. This hotel room is actually pretty nice. It's basically a highway hotel, so a lot of people on road trips, on bikes, and even bicycles come here. So we got plenty of space here for both of our bikes. We got a little dining table, and we got a TV we're not going to use. Air conditioning, a little cabinet here, and they even gave us 2 beds. We got a big bed, and we got a little bed, and we got a lovely view of the shower and bathroom from the living room. I've really only seen this in hotels in like Thailand and Vietnam. So yeah, interesting feature. Anyway, how do you think about today's ride, Chunchan? Your first 100-kilometer ride this year?
Not bad. I feel I'm okay. Better more than I thought. Because today is a long ride. But I'm okay. I can run it now.
Yeah, we went up the stairs. We had to carry the bikes up the stairs. It was okay. So you're not too tired?
Not too tired, but
What was the hardest part?
I think cycling under the hot weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, we cycling around 12 p.m., 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Very, very hot?
Yeah.
Too hot.
Yeah, and my cycling computer say now over 40 degrees.
Wow, yeah, it was
hot.
crazy. I'm sure the real feel was even hotter. Tung's a little upset. She paused her ride when we took a little break, and she forgot to restart it, so her ride ended up being 159 kilometers. So she's devastated that she didn't get the full 160. But it's okay, it shows up on my Strava. Anyway, we're pretty exhausted. We're gonna hop in the shower, go get some food. Before you go, make sure you're subscribed so you can stay tuned on the rest of our bike touring videos. I'll leave a link to the playlist up here in the video and down in the description so you can see all of our videos once they're finished. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning for tomorrow's big ride. See ya.
Bye. Good night.